caring, selfless, concerned, giving person to the point of nausea. Everybody likes her. Nobody hates her. It's disgusting. She's too nice.
Okay, what kind of a big sister was Maddie? You know, growing up, my mom here, I was the third child, so she was already a little tired of child rearing by then, I think. Was ready to slough it off on the eldest sibling, Maddie. So Maddie became my other mother, right? And she took quite a lot of responsibility. She raised me, yeah, because Frida was kind of not there. What were you doing? Playing cards or something? Anyway, Maddie, in times of crisis in my life, and there have been a few, Maddie was there. She was there. She's one of these people that, in my life, I feel I'm very safe in the world. And I don't think she feels this way about me. I don't think she feels that I would rescue her.
Maddy was my firstborn, and she was a beautiful baby. And she was born September 17th, right in the midst of all the war talk. So we were always worried about her daddy being drafted. But meanwhile, she was born one day and 1 hour past the time. So when I went to the draft board, they got Al off the army because they figured the water broke before. So she was the only one that saved her daddy from going into the service. She was a troublesome child until she was like 4 years of age. When we had the new baby, by then she was 3 years of age, so Gil was too much competition from her. So I had to lock Gil in the room because all she wanted to do was go into the room and pinch him. So finally they reconciled and they became friendly, but not that friendly because Gil would go hiding in the room when he was older, so she would leave him alone. And so she was always the oldest in the family. And when Joyce was born, she became like another mother to Joyce. She was the best child, the sweetest child, the most lovable child, and she grew into a beautiful, mature adult. So considering that she was such a devil as a baby, she made up for it in the later years, and she was the light of my life, and I loved her dearly.
So I recently had surgery, and I had to walk up 38 steps to my house, which is, you know, up on a hill. And Maddie showed up. She was there to help me. She took care of me for an entire week, and she was amazing. Like, I feel as, again, she dropped her life and just took care of me, which was an amazing thing to do. And there have been several other examples of that, which I could go into. When I lived in New York and I moved out of New York, I was traumatized by that, and she came and helped me move out. Now, very few friends will help you move, okay? She was there for me in a moment of need, and she's like an earth mother. Sure, if I had to pick one quality, it would be her nurturing quality, and that's why she's doing therapy now, lay therapy, because it's part of her nature to be nurturing.
But as a teenager, she was very popular. She met Tony in college, and before she knew it, she was married. I thought she married too young, but it took her 10 years of bumming around after the divorce to get remarried, and so she had a lot of experiences after the first marriage because she had such a short teenage years. So she was an aging teenager by the time she got married the second time around. And she always assumed responsibility for everybody in the family. That's just her makeup. Her makeup was responsible to Joyce, responsible to her children, responsible to her mother, and that responsibility envelops her 24 hours a day.
Okay.
And I recognized it, whether she wants to admit it, but she is a fantastic daughter.
When I think of Maddy, I can only think of the most positive person I think I've ever been involved with. She's just positive. She looks at the best side of everybody. She looks at the best side of almost every situation. She's the most optimistic person I've ever known.
Happy birthday, Maddy. It has been wonderful knowing you for 2 of your decades, part of your 50s and your 60s, and now going into your 70s. And I wish you the happiest birthday. Thank you for being a wonderful mother-in-law and grandmother to the kids and mother to your son.
So I was thinking about you today, and I was thinking about how you're like an inspiration for me, as how, like almost like a role model for how I should live my life. And and I think about you, and I think about all the things that you teach me about living in the moment and enjoying your family, and creating special memories with people that you love and care about. It's almost like you're almost like somebody that I never had in my life as an older female role model, and I can learn a lot from you.
When I think of Maddy, I think of love and light. All I remember is when I met Maddy, she was gracious, generous, so happy, so sweet, so inviting, and I felt at home in this family because Maddy was like, come on over and play with us, you're great. She was just so positive.
Maddy, I think she's the best listener I've ever talked to, I can go to her and I can tell her what's going on in my life, and she always listens and responds, and she's just the sweetest person ever. Happy birthday, Maddy. I can't think of a better way to spend your birthday. This is freaking awesome.
Yesterday, life was such an easy game to play. Now I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe yesterday.
What does that mean?
Hey, I'll get each other tight. And if for too long, Old MacDonald. And on this farm they had and the doggy goes, woof, woof.
Well, we were fixed up, and I met her at Great Expectations in Encino. Obviously, things went, there was a lot of great expectations in our life after that time, but she made me wait for an hour while she was closing a deal, but she made big bucks. It was just great, and we just had a terrific first night. We just had coffee, and sat in Evan's old car. Maybe it was Spencer's. It was a crappy old car and the seats pretty much didn't even work. Pretty early on, I knew she was very special. We had a very quick courtship and a very intense one. And it sort of cooled down, and then we got back together, and I knew that that absolutely and positively was something that I wanted for the rest of my life. That we travel great together. We've done amazing number of trips, and of all the things that we do together, and the time we feel the most close is when we're alone, traveling by car in a foreign country. It's just been a very special relationship for us doing that.
One of the unique qualities that you have, Mom, is that you are always able to cheer me up in whatever circumstance it is. You know, whenever I'm feeling bad about something, I always emerge from a conversation with you feeling better. Like just it doesn't even have to be anything that you say. Just your general energy makes me feel better. So not a lot of people that I can say can do that. So thank you for being there for me, and a very, very happy 70th birthday to you.
What do we think of when we think of Mimi? Isley, do you want to tell them? What do you think of? Oh, come on, Isley. How about this? Smiling, loving, caring, giving, funny, good tickler, good cook, doesn't put all the butter all the way across the bread when mixing toast, doesn't totally cover frosting on every bit of the cake, but still manages to taste really good, or cooking tastes really yummy.
It's growing up, and we played in the pool a lot, and we were jumping around all the time, and Maddy was getting to be a teenager, and she was jumping around. There was a bunch of people around, and she jumped around too much, and her top slipped off. And the sad thing about it,
I think we know the answer to that,
is no one noticed. So I guess that would be an embarrassing moment.
Okay, when Maddy became single at 38, I was 28, and for the first time I felt like I could really do something for my older sister. I could show her how to be single because I was so good at it. So one of the things she did, she came to visit me in Ecuador and traveled around the Andes with my alcoholic boyfriend, Wilfredo. She just went with the flow. We hiked through the Amazon rainforest, and anyway, I saw her, and men were always just crazy about her wherever we went. We went to New Orleans, and I was single, she was single. We met two brothers and enjoyed New Orleans with them. So that was an aspect that I saw of her, this kind of delayed adolescence that came out later, and that was fun.
She told me that her birthday was in September of 1943, making us the same age. After we got going a while and we went to Asia together, I saw her passport. And finally, on our way home, I said to her, now that we're in love, can you tell me what your real age is? I always knew she was lying, but I thought it was for many more years than that, because why would she lie for one silly year?
Yeah, Maddy was always a pillar of strength to me, the older sister, always there with advice. And so I remember what a shock it was when she came home and had just broken up with Steve Gittleman or some guy. I think this was in like high school maybe, or college, early college. And she had broken up with him, and she was crying, really sobbing and crying. And she'd come in the door, and she wrapped her arms around me, and I remember thinking, oh my God, my older sister, Miss Strong Person, is crying. My whole world fell apart. I was like, my God, this woman, I can't depend on her anymore. She's crying.
Good. Now, can you remember any embarrassing moments or funny stories with Maddy? Anything comes to mind?
Other than when she tried to serve my son breast milk when there was nothing there. Other than that, embarrassing moments. I just keep thinking of Maddy, how funny it is when she lived with us, and every drawer in the house was open. Every door, every drawer. I'm like, whoa, is this like exorcism or something? It was just the cutest thing. Just quirk. It's just her quirkiness, But we all have our quirks. And she's, I think of her as always glamorous, always perfect fingernails, and always a big smile for everyone.
This is the candle.
All right, here we go. Happy birthday. Come on.
I'll be there over here, okay? No, it's okay.
Happy birthday to you.
Where is Jim?
Happy birthday.
There's Jim.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
The thing that brings me the most joy for right now in this part of my life is being around my family and seeing my family being happy and friendly and joyful and doing wonderful things together, and everybody getting along and everybody happy to be together. And that makes me feel very, very happy. I like being with my children, with my mother, with my grandchildren, with my sisters and daughters-in-law, and I feel very fortunate when we're all together, which is not frequently enough. Okay, the myth I'd like to destroy about myself that I think most people believe is that I'm really easygoing and easy to get along with all the time. I think that's a myth.
Why, you're not easy?
I think a lot of times I am not that easy and people put up with certain things about me. What I like least about being 70 is that I'm closer to the end of my life. To be honest with you, I've loved being alive. I can't imagine not being here on this earth. I'm not going to see a lot of things, and I resent the fact that I'm not going to, but I have to accept it as everybody does. And that's the thing that I like the least, is that life goes by faster as you get older.
0 to 10, sum it up in a sentence.
Growing up and learning to live in the world.
Okay, ages 10 to 20, sum it up in a sentence.
Going through a lot of growth and changes and insecurities to finally getting to a place of somewhat acceptance.
Okay, ages 20 to 30.
20 to 30, getting used to being married, getting used to being around little children, raising a family, and going through the stresses of that.
Okay, 30 to 40.
30 to 40, being a single woman, learning about myself as a woman, and experiencing a whole different life than I experienced the first 35 years.
Okay, 40 to 50.
40 to 50, again, continue to do exploring, learning what I really value in life is stability, wanting to settle down again and have a more conventional life again.
Okay, 50 to 60.
50 to 60, getting used to a whole new life of being married again in a whole different way, doing a lot of traveling, socializing a lot more with friends, really enjoying my social life a lot.
Lastly, 60 to 70.
60 to 70, bringing things in a little bit more, wanting to be more with my family and my grandchildren, still wanting to see with friends, still wanting to travel, but not with such hunger as I had before. Some of my biggest life lessons is that I can't control everything, and I have to let go of that feeling, and I'm trying to do that. I'm still trying to do that. That I can't make everything better for everybody as much as I would like to do that. That is hard as I try to be perfect. I have to accept the fact that I am less than perfect, and I do make mistakes, and I'm not right all the time. And also that life is short, and that you have to really enjoy every stage that you go through to the fullest.
Happy 70th birthday, Mama. I love you.
Happy birthday!
Birthday, Mimi, or Slim to Grandma.
Mom, I just want to wish you a very, very happy 70th birthday. We just finished this amazing trip over in Carpinteria. This house was one of the most beautiful I've ever seen. I just had the time of my life, just relaxing, walking on the beach. It was amazing. Thank you for that. And here's to another 70 fun-filled years. I love you very much. You're an amazing mom, Mwah.
And happy birthday. You're only as old as your spirit, and you'll always have a young spirit, which is why children love you and the rest of your family. So happy birthday. I'm right behind you.
Mads, I love you. You're the best thing that's ever happened to me. I wish you a very happy birthday, and you're still 10 months older than I am.
And you know, when I think of 70, it sounds old, and you know, you're just kind of entering you know, the twilight of your life. But you're not like that at all. You're an energetic 70. You probably have 30 more years of life left, so you know, or more, you know. But you're definitely an energetic 70 years old. You know, you're not like the typical. So don't even worry about getting older. You're just getting. You're like wine. As you age, you get better with time.
Independent, responsible, loving, caring. Everything she does is a plus. That's just the way she's constructed. She developed into a fantastic, amazing, energetic woman who everybody seems to relate to because she's so caring and devoted to the family and friends, both alike. And she doesn't ask too much for herself at all. She just expects the other people to be comfortable and happy, and seems to have time for everyone. Her mother, her grandchildren, her great-granddaughter, my great-granddaughter. She's always takes on everybody else's job.
Maddy is just one of the nicest, most genuinely kind people I've ever known in my whole life. She's so easy to love, and she teaches us how to love just because of who she is. I would, if I'm as vivacious and youthful as Maddy is when I'm 70, I would be so delighted. Maddy, happy birthday. 70 years old, you're absolutely amazing, and you're one of my role models for life. I love you to death.
Who is Maddy? What is Who is Maddy? I like the virality of it. I like the virality. Who is Maddy? Who is Maddy? Who's that Maddy?